So we're joined now by the one and only Chasson Randle, back in the Quad Cities, a busy man. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up with. I appreciate you stopping by.
Hey, thank you. Happy to be here.
So you're in town. We'll start with that because you're in town because Saturday night at the Wheelers game, there was a Legends Night. And you're one of the Quad City legends.
Yeah.
How does that all happen? And then what do you think of? Are you a legend yet?
You know what? If they want to call me a legend, I guess I'm a legend.
Who are you to argue with public opinion, right?
Exactly. I'm not going to argue with them.
Yeah.
But you know, Doug Bland, he reached out to me, the owner of the Steelers, and said that there was an opportunity to come in and they wanted to honor me as one of their legends and watch the game. And I said, you know, it'd be great to accept the honor and be there with my family, and they're happy to make it happen for me, so it was great.
What's it like being back at home, having the family there, seeing familiar people, and getting that love from the Quad Cities, who we've talked for a decade plus now that you've been out and about and all over this world, but the Quad Cities has always been home. What was it like to be back and get that recognition from your hometown and your home area?
Oh, it's a blessing, you know, just to step out there and hear the crowd cheering again when they announce your name, and to be able to do that now with my family in the presence, and over this 15-year span that I've been playing since high school to now, it's been incredible to still have some relevancy in the QC and to still get love. So.
Oh, plenty of relevancy. We joked before you got here that like you were coming in here, your mom would bring you in here to do the Sunday show because you couldn't drive. That's how long it's been since. Do you remember those days? And obviously you think back fondly to that, but some great memories here in Rock Island. Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my mom was kind enough to bring me in whenever you guys asked, and my dad was driving me to, you know, basketball games all over the state and traveling with me all over the country. So I'm very, very thankful for, you know, their time and commitment to help me achieve the things that, you know, I set out for myself. And you know, it's been a fun run so far. Yeah. Yeah.
So we buried the lead. You're a legend, but more importantly, you're now a husband and a dad. Kind of what's this last year been like for you? And I hope you'll say, especially with some important people over my shoulder, this has been the biggest year of your life, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Biggest year of my life, the happiest year of my life, to be honest, filled with love, and couldn't be more thankful for the way it's gone. So just hoping to keep it rolling in that direction. So
tell me about that baby. Tell us about that baby. It's just over there over our shoulder, but a baby boy, almost 3 months old. What's life like as a dad?
You know, it's a lot more focused, I would say. I wake up every morning with a new sense of energy, a new sense of purpose, and I'm focused, you know, on a whole different level because of my son being here now and having to provide and, you know, plan. And I'm not a big planner, but, you know, with him around and my wife being here, it's like, okay, we need to schedule when we're leaving, when we're coming back, and all this type of stuff. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a blessing to have him here.
As you know, I'm a father of 4 boys. But did you have that? Have you had that? I can remember when my firstborn was born, and I looked down at him. I was like, wow, I'm a dad now.
Yeah.
It changes perspective, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said, it gives you a new sense of purpose, and then, you know, you've got him looking at your every move. So, you know, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things, showing them the right things, speaking the right way. Yeah. And, you know, the children are our future. So, you know, got to set the right example.
Have you ever had a bad day yet and then gotten home and just seen a smile?
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing is like you could have the worst. I remember there'd be a Friday night here in basketball or football, and I'd be cranky and things didn't go right and this messed up, and I'd come home all mad, and then my little one would be up and I'd be like, well, who cares?
Right.
Yeah. So have you had those?
No, I've definitely had that experience. Like I've had days where, you know, things haven't gone right for me outside of the house, but as soon as I step inside, it's like everything kind of goes away. Yeah. And I have the love of my wife, I have the love of my son, and you know, I know that everything's gonna be all right because I have them there for me. So
I got 4, you got 1. I won't it's only 3 months old, but you got to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, listen, I'm just playing a role here. You know what I mean?
Exactly, I hear you.
Following the lead.
I hear you. Let's talk basketball then, obviously. And one of the best parts of your story that you've lived it, I've kind of covered it / watched it, and we've always joked like you can write a book someday because the ups and downs are are amazing, and they've always, I know, made you better. I think when texting with you, when something good has happened, it's been one way, and if something bad has happened, texting with you, you've had that same response.
Yeah.
Where are you at basketball-wise right now? I know you played last year in the G League. Where are you at, and how excited are you for your future?
Yeah, I'm a free agent right now. I'm currently looking for my next team, looking for opportunities, whether that be here domestically or overseas, leaving my options open.
Sure.
Yeah, just grateful. I'm going into year 9 as a professional athlete, and it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
You just, for those young kids out there, like it's gonna go by at a blink of an eye. So just cherish every moment.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. Still working hard every day in the gym and taking care of my body and making sure that I'm fueling it the right way and giving myself as much of a chance that I can to continue this journey that I'm on. It's been a blessing. Like you said, it's been a bunch of highs and a bunch of lows, but I'm grateful for them all, whether good or bad, and it's made me the person who I am and made me the player who I am. So I'm excited for whatever the future holds.
Yeah, if you look at, and you said working hard every day, it's easy when you love it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you're going to work, you're going to the gym, you're doing the things you have to do to keep your body ready, but it's easy when you love it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't feel like I've worked a job yet, in my 30 years of life.
That's a key.
Yeah, and that's been a huge blessing, to be honest. I got to watch my parents, work a 9 to 5 for majority of my life, and they provided for us in a fantastic way, and they helped me achieve the dream that I wanted to accomplish, and now I feel like I have to pay that back to them and my family now that I'm raising, and it's been a blessing.
Yeah. No, I always tell people, I cover sports for a living. I talk to Chasson Randle and people like that for a living. I don't ever feel like I wake up and go, and that's the key, isn't it? Like not to get up in the morning and go, oh man, I have to go to work. I mean, there's some mornings I'm tired and all that kind of stuff, but like I never fear having to go into work, and that's the way I feel like it is with you. You're still living the dream.
Absolutely, living the dream, chasing the dream. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But just thankful. I've always took a blue collar mentality. Like I said, watching my parents go to work every day, and it's one of those things that I don't take for granted. Because I know I've been blessed, with a healthy career so far, and I know that at this point anything could happen and be taken away. So you really cherish every opportunity that you get, and approach it with a professional mentality, and smile and keep smiling as the days go by, good or bad.
Do you find that the lows make the highs even better?
Yeah, I think so.
Because you've done a ton, but you've had setbacks.
Yeah.
And that happens. And I think that's what, when you're talking to younger people need to know, it hasn't always been smooth sailing for Chasson Randle. There's setbacks along the way.
Yeah, I think that's been the cool part about this journey, is that when I have failed, I've had the support of my family. I've had the support of the Quad Cities, to be honest. Everybody has seen, the wins, they've seen the losses, and as a professional, you're not always going to win, but you can learn from every single failure, every single loss that you take, and that's the approach that I have. A failure is not it's not necessarily denial. It's just an opportunity to get better and keep pushing. I think whether good or bad, you can always learn a lesson, and that's what I've been able to do throughout my career with the wins and with the losses. So
I'm very careful when I say this, because I don't want to disrespect the older generation of basketball in the Quad Cities. It's been fantastic, but I feel like I've been lucky because I don't want to say it started with you. You didn't start it, but like it's continuing, in my opinion, to get better and better. I feel like we're producing great talent after great talent after great talent. In fact, Jordan Delp showed me a picture today of you guarding DJ in the game this year.
Yeah.
Which I said, you got to send me that. That's cool. What do you watch it? Do you see our area still? Do you keep tabs of who's coming in and who's coming out? And you got to be proud of it, don't you? Because it's good.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. to be able to see the growth and development of the area when it comes to, the game of basketball. We're producing a lot of talent. We've always done that, though. I was at the Legends Night, and speaking to some of those guys there, they're like, man, the QC, back in 70s, 80s, we produced, the phenomenal talent and phenomenal athletes, and we've always done that. But I think now with social media now and, the TV and, Twitter and all of that, like, you see it more. So it's been really cool to follow what's happening on the high school scene, and I'm excited to see these guys come up through college, and lucky enough to meet some of them on the professional level. Like, I played DJ this year. I got to play Tyler Hall this year for the first time.
I was going to say, because the Tyler Hall thing, that's,
yeah.
Were you teammates?
No, we weren't teammates.
So he was in 8th grade when you were senior?
He may have
been
been
freshman.
Yeah,
but he wasn't
freshman.
playing varsity or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. A few years
That's
younger.
2 Rock Island guys playing professional basketball.
Yep.
That's saying something.
No,
I mean,
it is. It is. It's it shows that we're doing the right things in this area. Producing the right talent, and the guys are putting in the work.
Well, let me jump in too, because it also shows, and I know your parents, and I know his parents, and that's what when I think of that matchup, I think of the parents watching and stuff, because it's just those are 2 guys, yourself and Tyler, that were just raised right.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool, I think, about it too, is just it is Rock Island, but it's the people in Rock Island and those 2 families. That had to be really cool.
Absolutely. I'm sure that anytime that we step foot on the court, our parents are smiling, because they've done phenomenal jobs raising us and pushing us to levels that we couldn't even think of. So definitely grateful. And I just think that over time you'll continue to see it get better and better all throughout the Quad Cities. There's a lot of talent on the Iowa side. You got Navon Shabazz coming up.
And you already know about Navon.
Yeah. He was, so I used to train with his dad when I was younger, and coming up, and he helped me,
I've
tremendously.
seen highlights, but I haven't seen
Yeah,
him
and his
in
son
person,
is,
and
he's
I'm excited to see
he's
it.
going to be really good, man. He is really good already, but I think he's got levels that he'll be able to reach that, we'll all look back and be like, he's the real deal.
And before we started, I talked about, seeing Ethan Happ earlier today, and that's another guy you've worked out with. I mean, there is a community. You've met Brock Harding. I mean, you guys stay, and it almost, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like Delp's the godfather. Like he's the connector of all
he
that.
brings it all together. He's like, in a way, like the magician, you know. He kind of pulls the talent from here and from there and puts it all together, mixes it in a pot, and does his spell, and we do our thing on the basketball court when the lights are on. But Brock, phenomenal, talent. I'm excited to see what he's going to do at Iowa.
Now, we had him on the show. We just talked about this before we started, and he mentioned that you babysat for him. And then I just mentioned it to you, and that's a true statement.
Yeah, it is.
Vaguely
a true
remember.
statement. I do. Once you said, you babysat him, I remember being.
So did you have like a babysitting service? I don't feel
No,
like
no,
you
no,
babysat
no,
a lot of
no,
people
no,
growing
no.
up.
I'm not gonna go into full details why I was there.
All right, because I don't.
On air, but yeah.
But like, I don't feel like it was like, hey, call Chasson up to babysit today.
Yeah,
I feel like you were a
no.
little bit, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was an experience for sure. I don't remember exactly how the night went, but he was a great kid.
He's
then,
still
and
alive.
Still a great kid.
He's
yeah,
still
exactly.
alive. He didn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so Moline wins the state championship. Are you watching?
Yes, I was following, and to be honest, rooting for them to win it.
That was my next question.
This year, yeah, definitely. Anytime you get to see a Quad City team, reach that stage, reach that platform, you want to see them do well. And they accomplished something that, not many have done, and so my hat goes off to them. I'm so thankful that they, brought the trophy back to the Quad Cities, and I won't be rooting for them against Rocky, but anytime they step outside the QC, they've got
people,
my
if
support.
Chasson Randle can root for Moline every once in a while, then I think
Yeah.
everybody could do that. He was a Mr. Basketball. You
Yeah.
were a Mr. Basketball. I think you were the last Mr. Basketball before, and maybe the only. I think Western Big Six wise, it's you two, and then Bruce Douglas down
Okay.
in Quincy.
Yeah.
I think that's how we brought up the babysitting thing. To see a kid like that, and kind of the same story where he's been doubted his entire life. I remember people telling me Chasson Randle's too small.
Yeah.
And you've done okay for 9 years in
Yeah.
playing professional basketball. Do you get the same vibe with him and just proving people wrong?
Yeah, I remember seeing him at a depth workout and just realizing how skilled he was and poised he was to be, I think he was 8th grade, going to be a freshman. And he's just a playmaker, and a baller, and at the end of the day, no matter the size, no matter the height, if you can ball, you can ball.
Yeah.
He can ball. So I think that he'll have opportunities to, do great things on the collegiate level and then professionally, hopefully, and I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He, because it's kind of the same thing with Jordan Delp. I think I should get money from Jordan every time I mention his name on this thing, but it was kind of that same area, like 8th grade freshman year. We were just talking about, who's next, because that's who you tap into, like who's that next. And he looked at without missing a beat. He goes, Brock Harding. And I've known Brock and his family for a long time. And I said, Brock? Like I didn't mean it like in a disrespect, but I'm just like, but he's small.
Yeah.
He's like, I am telling you right now, that kid is going to do huge things. And since then, I was like, okay, if Jordan's that confident in anything when it comes to basketball, I bought in, and he continued to prove everybody wrong the entire time, which is awesome to see. When you get back home, I won't keep you too much longer, but when you get back home, do the memories come back? I know you guys, so you 2010, right? 2011?
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
So it's been 12 years.
12 years.
Are you guys still, for the most part, connected and
Oh, yeah.
talk to each other? And,
Yeah, definitely.
And can you share, was everybody rooting for Moline? Or was there any talk of, because you were the only Quad City, I mean, that was it. It was, no, let me explain, because people that are Assumption or Davenport side or all that, like when it comes to Metro Quad Cities, big school boys basketball, and no disrespect to any of the others,
No disrespect.
but that's really hard to do.
Right.
Like what Moline did, really never. It hadn't been done before for a reason.
Yeah.
In fact, you'll maybe appreciate this. Since they changed to 4 classes. In 4A, it's won by a Chicago team every year except for EJ Liddell's team at Belleville. So that's how hard it is. And then what you guys did.
Yeah.
So that's something to be the only team. Now you're sharing it.
Yeah,
Was
we're sharing
everybody okay with this? You don't have to call names.
No, I'm definitely not going to call names out. Not everybody was okay with it,
Okay,
of course.
that makes
Like
sense.
the rivalry and the history between Rock Island and Moline is,
yeah.
one of the greatest rivalries that you'll ever see in basketball or in sports, and it'll remain that way. And I think that this just raises the level. Now that we kind of we did it first.
Yes.
It's okay. And they came and did it this year.
They literally, people would ask me nonstop.
Yeah.
Which team would win?
Yeah.
Like that was a thing.
No, it's great. It's kind of like that.
So which team would win?
Well, of course, the 2011 Rock Island Rocks. Why not?
Well, you're here, so I'll say the same.
Yeah.
If Brock is looking at me, say something different.
Right, but I think that it just raises the level. Now, the next generation of talent coming through each school has something to, hold up, and compete towards. And I think that the rest of the QC is looking at that like, now we got to do something too. So I think it's great for the area. I think it's great for competition. And I think it's great for conversation. Like people were asking me, like, who do you think, will win, whose team, and comparing players and, going down the roster and things.
We did matchups
things
back
like
in the
that.
sports
Yeah,
thing,
matchups and stuff.
Who's guarding Owen and like who's checking who.
It's great for basketball. It's great for the Quad Cities. And, 2 different eras, of course. We're talking 12 years ago that we were playing basketball, and the game has grown so much since then. Even at the high school level, it's played differently. It's a lot faster. The players are skilled at every position, pretty much. And no disrespect to, guys in the past and everything, but these kids have access to more information. So as time goes on, you're going to see the level rise.
They just do it more too.
Yeah.
And you did a lot too, but I remember going back, like we didn't do, when my son plays travel baseball, and like when I was little, I'd pick up a glove in April and I put it away in August. And now they just do it all year round. And the same thing with basketball. There's more knowledge of it as well. I'm not going to keep you too much longer. You have a lovely wife and a baby boy over there. You got to get going. But Coach Sigel, obviously very important to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird for me, and Coach Polite's doing a fantastic job at Rock Island,
Mm-hmm.
but it's weird for me not having him in the game. Was it weird for you to hear he's not in the game anymore, and obviously it's somebody you're still pretty close with?
Yeah. I was texting him before I came this way, to be honest. I haven't gotten to see him yet, but Coach, I'm hoping to see you at some point while I'm here. It definitely is weird, but I think that as long as he was happy with his decision and leaving, then, you know, we take our hats off, we salute him, because he did a great job of, you know, raising a team like ours and teaching us how to, you know, play team basketball and play together and win at the high school level. So, and he did it here, he did it in Rock Falls, and he's a legend. So they probably should have been honoring him a few nights ago.
He's as good as it gets. Do you still get to sneak into the Rock Garden? Do you have access? You his dad, right?
Yeah, every now and then.
Have you seen the new Rock Garden?
I haven't.
You haven't been in?
Well,
since,
the new
like the refurbished new bleachers, new.
Yeah, I've seen the new bleachers, seen the new floor, new design and everything. I love the addition to the state champ, you know, on the floor. And
that court could say Chasson Randle Court. It was just a big old check, probably.
Oh man, no, we might have to figure something out. But yeah, they've done a great job of redoing the whole school. I think they did that front area.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but planning to at some point during my trip.
All right, we're going to let you go. Before you get out of here, what things do you have to do when you get in the Quad Cities? I know we talk about it all the time. And I got you your Whiteys.
Yes.
So you're good with that.
Check. Yeah,
but
check.
And I know you always say mom's cooking and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, your lovely wife, your baby boy is here. What are the things that you guys got to check off as you're here?
Yeah. Alfano's Pizza, you know, of course, like we got to have that.
Are you a La Rancherita guy?
A La Rancherita.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my spot. That was my spot. It still is, to be honest. People were trying to deter me away from it, but I'm
Who's people? Don't say any names, but
I won't say any
stop
names.
that.
But yeah, they're saying there's other options out there.
There's fantastic Mexican food all over the place. But
Yeah.
why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll definitely be checking out some of the newer restaurants. Pee-wee's, of course.
Yes.
That's
Is the Chasson Randle burger still
it's
in
still
effect?
there. It's still
I
there.
haven't had one in years. I need to stop back by and get one.
Yeah, please do.
So,
Please do.
Hey, he's Chasson Randle. We appreciate you stopping by and enjoying a conversation. You've been one of my favorites for years. We appreciate it. And best of luck in the next chapter. And I'm telling you, basketball, best of luck in that chapter. Your best chapter is just started with that 3-month-old baby and that lovely wife of yours. So appreciate you, my man.
Yes, sir.
All right.